Remember when I actually used to do my hair for videos? Yeah, those are the days. Hello Winterians! I'm back today with another more Q than A video. And today's question is from Jessie on Twitter at writeread_think. And her question is, when plotting your novels, did you outline? If so, what method do you use? And this is a very totes appropriate question for right now because I'm in the process of plotting a whole new series, so I am currently in the throes of my methods that I use for creating worlds. So what I do, and I'm looking at my computer, that's why my focus is going to be over here, because I'm looking at the documents that I use. The first thing that I do is I have a list of questions that help me get a better foundation. Honestly, it's just in a Word doc and I just have a list of all these things, almost like filling out a questionnaire. The first thing is kingdom name, population, and I break it down by major cities. So the population of the major cities in each kingdom. So the next is the origin of the kingdom, which is just the legend of how it was started. And then it goes to the ruling family, who's currently in charge, who his or her heirs are, who they're married to. This is just kind of like a one-shot regurgitation of all of the general details, because later on I'll get into like who spouse's family was and why they married into the royal family, and the dynamics of the heirs and if there are any political issues. But then now I'm just putting down like who's who and why they're who, and I'll get into the specific details later on. The division of power. Not every fantasy kingdom is necessarily a monarchy, and I refer to it as kingdom when it's not necessarily a kingdom. I just say kingdom because it's the word that's easiest for my brain to process. The next section is economy. So how do they get their money? What is their biggest import export? What makes this kingdom a functioning part of whatever world it's in? Biggest weaknesses / prejudices. Every kingdom has a history, whether it be something that's familiar from our world where they hate a certain other group of people, or they were at war with a neighboring kingdom so they therefore hate all the people in this area. Whatever prejudice the people in this kingdom are known for holding to. Holidays, which might seem like something that's not super important, but that helps you understand what is important to these people in this kingdom. The next section is recent wars, which obviously that is definitely going to shape the kingdom, and it's probably good to know. The next one is a rather fun section, style and inspirations, their fashion, how they dress. The next one is terminology / language differentiations. How do they speak? What kinds of curse words do they use? What words are kind of like off limits to them? What words have developed through their language and through their cultural history as something that they revere? The next thing is topography. Is this a river kingdom? Is this an ocean kingdom? Forest, volcanic, farmland, swamp, beach? Well, what's going on here? The next one is the mythologies. What kinds of stories do they have? Okay, this is another specific one. How do they keep time in this world? It should come as no surprise that I'm rather focused on how worlds have different seasons. This kind of goes back into the style and inspiration section. Highest level of development. Are you working in like a steampunk kind of kingdom? Is it more medieval? Is it even farther back beyond what we would think of as medieval? The next one is the surrounding kingdoms / peoples and their relationships with them. And then the last one, this one you can also lose yourself in it too, is the magic system. If there is a magic system in your fantasy world. A lot of this is just giving yourself a place to start, because it can seem very daunting and overwhelming when you see like a finished book and you think, oh my god, how did they do this? There's dozens of characters and dozens of kingdoms and all these like plot threads, and how do they keep track of them? It's by starting in very small little batches and taking everything in like tiny as like little bite-sized pieces, because if you try to eat it all at once you'll just choke and die, and nobody wants that. Please do not choke and die. If you guys have any specific questions about outlining or questions about drafting even, we can do a video about drafting too, let me know. I hope all you guys out there who are writing fantasy books learned a little bit about this. I will put the full list of all my world building questions below the video because I know I kind of rambled through them, so it was probably hard for you to follow where I was going. So what is this? This is March, so spring, guys. Yes, I can't believe I almost forgot. This Friday is the first day of spring. And if you guys are excited for Ice Like Fire, you should definitely watch my Tumblr, because we are going to be having the first Join the Blizzard contest of 2015, wherein the prize will be of an arc sort. Please enter the contest, look for it. It'll be very exciting, I promise. Have a great spring. Should be seeing me convulsing during this video, only freezing